Boy, that was a snoozer. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday night postgame show here on the Rec Room Sports YouTube channel, Rec Room Sports Hub. Check them out on X, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. I think I said X, Twitter. Yeah, all that good stuff. And also live on my Facebook and on my Twitter as well. So, hope you guys have had a great football Sunday. Great week of action. We did have some low points, obviously, with the Joe Burrow injury for fantasy owners, at least. Had a couple of dull games today, especially the Sunday night game. Had a couple bangers. Had a couple of great games overall. I mean, did anybody expect Cowboys and Giants to put up 77 points combined today? No, not me. That's for sure. But yeah, great games, great week. Sunday night, it was okay. It's kind of what we expected out of this matchup. We figured the teams, you have two young running backs coming in, or two young quarterbacks, going into their first full year as starters. Obviously, JJ showed signs of uncomfortability even at home. There was a couple times you even saw Michael Penix wasn't as comfortable as he should be. And you kind of expect that from young quarterbacks. You kind of expect that. And I know that I've heard it on the broadcast tonight. I know some people are going to say, well, now how long until J.J. McCarthy gets benched? Here's the thing. If this is going to be your quarterback of the future, you let him play out the season. That's my opinion. Because the more and more, and I wish more teams understood this. I wish more teams did this. Because I remember, early 2000s, Eli went through the same problems when he came onto the Giants. He did not play great. The team was not good. I believe they went 4-12 their first year with him in 2004 when he came in. I think Kurt Warner basically told the Tom Coughlin and the coaching staff, it's like, if you're benching me for him, you're keeping him in the rest of the game the rest of the season because he needs the experience. And I think for some of these young quarterbacks, they really do. Give them a full year of experience, get them a full year under the belt to learn and hone their craft. Because we've seen here the last couple of years, some of these late bloomers who were, former first-round picks didn't pan out in their originally drafted teams, but they go to other teams, they figure it out. Geno Smith's a great example. Baker Mayfield's a great example. Sam Darnold, who had a good game today, was a great example. I really don't think benching these young kids is going to do good for them. Not just for their playing perspective, but also for their mental health. You got to understand, if you're going to go with it, he's your future. He's your future. You drafted him 10th overall last year. If you're Atlanta, you drafted Penix 8th overall last year. These are your future. You spent a first-round draft pick on a quarterback. You had at least, my opinion, you at least have to give him a three-year leeway stretch. He has to be the starter from here on out. If you didn't have to start him right away, you had a quarterback that he could learn under, I mean, that's cool. But now that you have him out there playing, now that you have him out there starting, Minnesota made the decision that they were going to move on from Sam Darnold and JJ was going to be their starter going forward. Atlanta made the decision to bench Kirk Cousins and have Michael Penix be their starter and have him be their starter at the start of the year going forward. I think you got to roll with them. I think you got to let them try, because one game, it's week 2. come on now. It's week 2. You're going to have a bad game. I mean, every good quarterback, every great quarterback that's ever played the game has had a bad game or two in their career. I mean, Peyton Manning starting out did not look good. It's a terrible performance. It took getting him some help to kind of build that team up and get them into where they were a competitor for years to come. Obviously, when Bill Belichick first got to New England, it didn't start out great. Brady wasn't even the starter. You still had Bledsoe out there. Then Bledsoe gets hurt. Tom didn't look good his first couple outings. You're not going to get perfection from these rookie quarterbacks. And I think this is part of the reason why some of these rookies don't end up having good careers in their original team, is because they're kind of thrown into the limelight. They're kind of thrust into the fire early on. Media is a big part of that. And because of that, their expectations are way too high for their set standards. So let's bring in the Hall of Famer, see what he thinks. Scott, not a good performance by either quarterback tonight. Obviously, Bijan was a big part of Atlanta's offense tonight, but I, for one, and I don't know if you agree or not, but I, for one, am like, I don't care if they had bad games tonight. I'm keeping McCarthy as the starter for the rest of the season. I'm keeping Michael Penix as the starter for the rest of the season.
You have to. You have to keep McCarthy as a starter because you put so much into him and you invested so much. And don't forget, opening night against the Bears, those first 3 quarters, it looked like a game manager. And then they unleashed him and let him go when they needed passes and everything else. So one bad game's not going to really – I mean, they're 1-1. It's really not going to make them second-guess what they've done. Series of these would. Now, on the Atlanta side, Penix won the game. Great. I get it. Did he look good doing it? No. And that's a problem. You got a stud receiver in Drake London. You got a secondary receiver in Donnell Mooney. You got Kyle Pitts, who, for all we joke about how it's Kyle Pitts' season, he's still an athletic tight end that can make catches and
he
run.
Did make some good plays tonight. Kyle Pitts did make some good plays tonight.
He did. He's looked much better than he has in the previous 2 or 3 years. But you have all these weapons. And if Michael Penix can't get him the ball, then all they're going to do is stack the boxes, Bijan, and make Penix beat them. So it is what it is. I don't know what happened tonight. It just was one of those games where if you wanted to go to sleep and wake up at 10:45 Eastern and look at the score, you didn't miss much. So that's just the whole thing. I mean, it was a bad game on it was like week 1. Week 1 had a lot of bad games. And tonight seemed like that it was back to week 1 again. Let's see how they do next week. So
Falcons, I believe, are on the road next week. Vikings have a home game next week, but it's going to be a rough one, if I'm not mistaken. I'll look at their schedules here pretty soon. Vikings go to Carolina, which, we've seen how bad Carolina has been the first 2 weeks. It's just like nothing going right for them. Minnesota hosts Jake Browning and the Cincinnati Bengals. That was probably the biggest news of the day was Joe Burrow goes down, potential toe injury. He's likely going to be out from what I've heard from other people, 3 months at the very least. Yeah. Depends on if he needs surgery or not. Jake Browning did pretty well today, though. So, and then Browning's come in and helped lead this team whenever they were absent of Joe Burrow in the past. So, he is a capable backup that can get some games won, but the schedule is just going to be brutal down the line for the Bengals.
Yeah, can you really trust him as the guy going forward? It's going to be until December, supposedly. This is what I heard.
Like I could see them going into Minnesota next week and winning. That just depends on how good JJ plays, of course, but I could see them still going to Minnesota next week and win, but once you get to, you got to play Baltimore, you got to play Pittsburgh again, you got to play Cleveland again. Once you get into those type of games, it's going to be tough for them to pull out wins if they don't have Joe Burrow this year.
Yeah, Jamar Chase. So Chase was running shorter routes with Burrow. After Burrow got hurt, it seemed like Chase was running longer routes, which means he was running 5-yard routes with Burrow. And then when Browning got in the game, it seems like he was running 10 to 12-yard routes. So I wonder if Browning can, in Chase and the Bengals' mind, if Browning can make some throws that Burrow doesn't even feel comfortable trying to do. I don't know. This is going to kill T. Higgins, I think. T. Higgins is going to be – because Browning has eyes with Jamar Chase, and that's it. I mean, look at the targets today. 16 targets, I think, for Chase today. A lot of them came with Browning. So I think when they play teams that are blitz happy, so to speak, I think Browning's in trouble. I think when they play teams that can't get to the quarterback, I think you're looking at Browning being okay. But again, Browning's the guy now for 3 months. Here we go. I mean, here we go. This was supposed to be the Bengals' year, and now your $50 million quarterback is now on the sidelines. So I don't know.
Now there's question of whether or not you'll even be a playoff team or not going forward.
Yeah, that's a serious question now because you got
especially with a couple surprises we've had so far in the AFC. Well, one in particular, the Indianapolis Colts, who we all kind of wrote off for dead because look who their starting quarterback is. That they're basically tanking. They're not going to win any games. All of a sudden, here they are 2-0, basically 2 walk-off wins. Daniel Jones seems like he's happier. He's not in New York anymore. He doesn't have that New York crowd chastising him anymore. Is it a better state of mind? And he's got a team that's rallying around him, especially his running back, Jonathan Taylor.
Here's what I will tell you, and you've heard this from Jonathan and me on the baseball show. You got to have a state of mind to play in New York, and if you don't have that state of mind, you'll never succeed in New York. Now, Daniel Jones was smart. He went and signed with Minnesota last year, learned under Kevin O'Connell, signed with Indianapolis where the expectations are not as high than in New York. So I think this is a perfect situation for him. I think he's going to be just fine out there. Can they win 11 games? I don't know. Daniel Jones, we haven't seen the implosion come yet. We're all waiting for that. I mean, everybody. It's coming. It just doesn't know when. That's all.
So for the second week in a row, the game of the day comes from probably the most unlikeliest of sources. Last week, it was potentially the Steelers-Jets game where both of those teams put up 30, before the Sunday night game. This week, it was Dallas and New York. Russell Wilson throws for 450, 3 touchdowns, but it's his last moon ball that made the entire difference of the game when it got picked off. In reality, the story of this game is the Giants beat themselves. Let's call it like it was. The Giants beat themselves. 4 personal foul penalties on the first drive, 2 of them by their starting left tackle, who got benched, by the way. And that they had the most penalty yards in Giants history since 2000, which is unheard of. That's just how undisciplined they were. And then the play calling got lackadaisical by Brian Daboll late down the stretch, which is how Dallas was able, because they're like, oh, we're just going to keep chucking it up there because they're not going to adjust, which, to their credit, Dallas didn't until overtime. But you also, the biggest thing, of course, was the lack of defense on that final drive. Because you're facing a kicker that can hit from 70, yet you're playing all the way to your own 40. You're playing defense all the way to your own 40 and allowing Dallas to get to within field goal range to tie that game. So a lot of questionable decisions by the Giants at the end of that game.
Alan, who's the most dangerous weapon in the NFL?
The kicker who could kick 60 yards.
It's Brandon Aubrey. If they get past the 45, he's got a very good shot at hitting a field goal. How many kickers in the NFL?
You know what? You know what was funny about that 64-yarder? The analytics calculator said that would have been good from 80.
Yeah, I know. I know. Everybody's talking about Cam Little's 70-yard field goal. If Brandon Aubrey's going to kick an 80-yard field goal, it would not surprise me one bit. I mean, he's the most dangerous weapon in the NFL. Dallas doesn't have to score a touchdown. All they got to do is get it around midfield, and he can kick it. It's unbelievable what this guy has done the last 2 years. But yeah, the Giants coughed that game up big time today. They should have won it. I mean, and Russell Wilson played like 4 years ago. What, Russell Wilson? First year in Seattle. Today, he was phenomenal.
Yeah. And then the overtime, he played like
Pittsburgh
Russell Wilson. Played like Pittsburgh Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
Sorry, Whit. But yeah. And even through all that chaos, like the biggest eye popping stats were like, what were the two biggest weaknesses for the Cowboys coming into this season? They couldn't run the ball, and they can't stop the run. Today, total Giants had 21 carries for 84 yards, and then the one touchdown from Cam Scatterbo. On the other side, Cowboys had 28 carries, 135 yards. 97 of that was from Javonte Williams, who had a 30-yard run and 2 touchdowns.
People, I hate to tell you, Jaden Blue ain't making it on the field this year if Javonte Williams keeps playing like this. Jaden Blue ain't making it on the field. Sorry. Miles Sanders even scored a touchdown today. Mm-hmm. I mean, when's Jaden Blue getting on the field? I don't.
He's not even due to be back till week 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't see it. I really don't. I mean, Javonte Williams looks like rookie Javonte Williams. And granted, he's 2 years off the ACL tear. This is generally when running backs start to perform and start to go up the hill. And sure enough, here we go.
He had a couple big runs today.
Yeah, so if you drafted him in the 10th, 11th round in fantasy, like Allen did in some places, I think I got him in a couple places, you're loving life right now because that's the type of guy that can win you leagues. So, and win games, as today. I mean, CD had a great game. Mm-hmm. Dak started off slow, and I was like, uh-oh, they're in trouble. And he ended up having a great stat game. CD Lamb made a difference. Miles Sanders scored a touchdown. George Pickens had a touchdown.
Ferguson had a big game today, too.
Big game, yeah.
Pickens had a great fourth quarter. Came alive in that fourth quarter for sure. You know, I don't know why Kyer Elam's still out there because he got burned all day long, and I know Diggs did too, but most of the time they were going after Kyer Elam, and I'm like, why is he out there?
And the other thing I'll tell you is Malik Neighbors is like a beast. He's a beast.
Oh, my God. Some of those catches today, I was just like, dear God.
They were phenomenal. That 29-yard touchdown that Russell just looked like he just threw up, and Malik Neighbors came down with it in the middle of the end zone. He was past Bland. He beat Bland pretty easily, and he scored. So,
and here's the thing: you're not going to if you're the Giants, you're not going to be able to do that on everybody, though.
No.
Like even when you play Dallas again, they're going to be more prepared for that now.
No, and Wan'Dale Robinson had a good game too. I mean,
Wan'Dale had a great game, and we'll talk about this game later because it's next Sunday night's game. But they're hosting the Chiefs, the very angry / motivated Chiefs next Sunday night. So, which we know how good that defense in Spagnuolo can be. So,
yeah, well. I mean, Worthy will be back next Sunday night, supposedly. So that's one thing for the Chiefs. They can't run the ball, except for Mahomes. Just can't do it. I mean, you saw it today. So I don't know. I know Tanner's not worried. They're 0-2. I'm not worried they're 0-2, but I am worried about what's going on in that offense.
Kelsey going off on the sideline after that
Yep.
touchdown.
Yeah, there's a lot going on that needs to be addressed in Kansas City. They're not used to this stuff that's going on. Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what about your team, Scott? How do you feel that your team did today against the Dolphins team that did not look great last week, but somehow looked a little bit better, but still is contradicting themselves even in the press conferences?
I've seen Trevian Henderson. He's on a milk carton right now. I don't know where he is. I don't know what they're doing. Ramondre Stevenson, 5 catches, 88 yards today. That should be Henderson. Granted, Stevenson had one of his best games in, 3 years, maybe 2 years. I don't like the way the defense is playing. It's not playing really well right now. 27 points to Miami. It's a lot of points to give up. Special teams was lacking today. Gave up a punt return, and then took a kickoff return back for a touchdown. You got Pittsburgh next week. I don't know what to expect after today. Pittsburgh looked miserable.
Pittsburgh did not look good either.
Against Seattle.
Well, everything we expected last week, we got this week.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers struggled. DK Metcalf, 3 catches, 20 yards. He's probably not happy. Jalen Warren is the centerpiece of their offense right now, and that's a problem.
The worst part about that whole game was the special teams blunder. Caleb Johnson, you need to know that you cannot let that ball. If it hits in the field of play, it goes into the end zone. This isn't college. You're not going to get a touchback out of that. That is a live ball. Like you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that.
I would say Caleb Johnson is firmly in the doghouse, and he might be a healthy scratch next week. Might be. So be very prepared. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you will not see Caleb Johnson next week because Tomlin does not deal with that stuff, especially from rookies.
Yeah. So, going back to tonight's game again, JJ was not good. 11 to 21, 158, and 2 picks. Jordan Mason was their best running back today, although Aaron Jones was kind of a late game injury bug that he never came back from. So it was all Jordan Mason for the rest of the game. Only 9 for 30 though for Jordan Mason tonight. Jefferson 3 for 81. One of those catches was the big 50-yarder at the end of the first half. Other than that, really not much of anything offensively from Minnesota. Atlanta side, Penix 13 of 21, 135. No touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked 3 times. JJ was sacked 6 times. Ugh. I mean, the only guy who's been sacked more really is Cam Ward in Tennessee.
Poor Sam.
That's kind of expected. And then of course the big game of the night, of course, went to Bijan. Bijan 22 for 143. Didn't have a touchdown, but he didn't really need to. I'm officially 0 for 5 on my picks today because Michael Penix only had 1 carry. So that's going to be fun to deal with next Sunday. Tyler Algier, 16 for 76 and a touchdown. Not a bad night for him either. So overall, 218 rushing yards for Atlanta tonight.
Is Bijan never going to be a feature back in the NFL? Is this what we're going down here? Because 16 carries for Algier, really? Is this what we're really going? We're going down this path again of Bijan not being a feature back. I mean, I'm going to look at the snap count tomorrow morning to see what it was, but I bet you it was close to 50-50. I'm not happy with this at all if I'm a Bijan owner. I want 75% of the carries. I mean, great. He had a great game. No complaints. But still, it's like, if I'm a Falcons fan, I'm like, just give him the ball. He's the best player on the team. Let him run the ball like crazy. And they don't do it. I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm at a loss. Receiving wise, Drake London only, like you mentioned, only 3 for 49. Pitts only 4 for 37. Not a good stat line, obviously for a young quarterback, but that's going to come with the territory whenever they start to develop him more as a passer. Yep. Obviously, it helps when you have a running back like a Bijan Robinson who can get you the 100-some yard rushing yards in a game. That helps out a young quarterback tremendously. But much like what happened with Tampa Bay in the Tampa Bay game, you're going to have those situations where they bottle Bijan up, and you're going to have to use your arms and you're going to have to use your own legs to get the job done.
I agree with that. Can't disagree with that, unfortunately.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Atlanta gets the W. They go 1-1. Obviously, we talked about it earlier. They're going to Carolina, which Carolina, my God, they somehow kept up with Arizona late in that game, but they just couldn't get it done. They haven't looked good the first 2 weeks. And then, of course, the Vikings host Jake Browning and the Bengals next week, as we mentioned. So next week's Sunday night matchup, Scott. Kansas City, after a disappointing first 2 weeks, goes to the Meadowlands. Giants have their home opener next week. After Russell Wilson put up 450 passing yards in a loss, which, again, the biggest thing with the Giants is the penalties. There are so many penalties in this game. It was nuts.
Were you the one that said that gave the penalty yards on the first drive?
They had 100 penalty yards, over 100 penalty yards on the first drive.
They had 4 penalties in a row by the same offensive lineman,
who was subsequently benched.
4 in a row, and they still hit a field goal.
Two of those were personal foul penalties too.
Yes, they were.
And then the first play, the next drive, they kept him in. False start. Dable's like, you're done. So yeah,
I don't know what to say.
Otherwise, because the second personal foul was right after Malik's first catch, which got him at the 2-yard line. It was 1st and goal. Giants could have got a touchdown out of that, but the personal foul put him at the 20, and they only got a field goal. So,
and people, just so you know, the length of a football field is 100 yards. It's pretty damn hard to get 105 yards in penalties.
Russell Wilson had 95 yards passing that first drive because there were so many penalties.
It's unbelievable. It boggles my mind how these teams year in and year out go through the same thing. They don't pay attention to the offensive line. They don't. And when one of your stars is out, like Andrew Thomas, you don't have an adequate replacement for him. You don't.
They had to put a rookie in. They had to put a rookie in at left tackle, and he played better. He played better than the guy they had backing up Andrew Thomas.
Why are the Giants in the situation they're in? Management. Yeah. It's not Dayball's fault. You can't even blame Dayball. Russell had a great game today. It's management. They don't supply the coaches with the players they need. That's the problem. But they'll never blame themselves.
Oh, that being said, Giants host the Chiefs next Sunday night.
Great.
Speaking of bad offensive linemen, Jawan Taylor's had his issues already at the early part of the season. Of course, no Xavier Worthy unless he's probably be a game time decision, if anything, for that game next Sunday. Still, the injury bug has hit Kansas City pretty hard. Other than that, you have the Kelsey stuff, which he had a decent game today, but you could tell there's frustration within that the Chiefs locker room right now.
No doubt, because I think all the players realize we don't have Rashee Rice, we don't have Xavier Worthy, our running game's not doing anything. And now we have to rely on Patrick Mahomes to run for 65 yards, and hopefully he passes.
Pacheco's probably the most disappointing running back of the season so far.
Right now he is. And he's got a chance to turn it around. And I think when they get everybody back, and it might not be till week 7 or week 8, but I think once Rice and Worthy are back on the field, I think Kelsey gets pressure taken off of them. I think it all goes to Worthy and Rice, and I think you'll see a better team. Like I said to Tanner on Lock It In this morning, would we be surprised if the Chiefs after week 7 win every game the rest of the year? I wouldn't. At when Rice comes back. So I think if Kansas City can go 2-4, 2-5 in these first 7 games, 6 games actually, 2-4 without Rice, they'll be fine. So they might not win the division, but they'll be in the playoffs. Too much talent in that team.
And I think Spags is a good enough defensive coordinator that he's not going to allow Russell Wilson to just moonball every throw he makes, like he did today. So
Jalen Hurts threw for 101 yards today. A.J. Brown 5 for 27. That's all you really need to know. Spags is the class of the defensive minds in the NFL right now, and it might not be close.
Yep. Well, trying to figure out how to word this. So last year, of course, obviously we did our game ball stuff, but as you may have saw last week, we're only doing 2 game balls this year, and they're all
for the Sunday night game,
and they're for the entirety of the week. So
okay.
So it is 2 game balls for the entirety of the week. So yeah, because of stuff like this.
So my game ball is very simple. It's the Detroit Lions. Everybody was like, what's going on with Detroit? What's the matter with Detroit? Well, I think today proved there's really nothing wrong with Detroit. It's just the Packers are a really good defense. And to go up against the Packers, I mean, we saw it against Washington Thursday night. They're just an elite defensive unit. And if you get them in the right situation, you might be able to beat them. But again, Jared Goff indoors is a totally different Jared Goff. And you saw it today. Amon-Ra, 3 touchdowns. Jameis Williams only had 2 catches, 108 yards and a touchdown. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, touchdown. David Montgomery, touchdown. So I think the Lions will be fine as long – and I think they're playing at home again next week. So I think they should probably win next week too. And don't forget, weeks 12 through 18, Detroit has all dome games, home and road. So – they just have to hold on until week 12, and once they do, they get every game in the dome, and that's where Jared Goff feasts. So,
Detroit plays Monday night in Baltimore next week.
In Baltimore, okay. So you might see a little bit of a struggle from Detroit. Do not jump off the bus. They'll be fine. Their schedule is a gauntlet this year. I mean, you could read their schedule down, and they have no easy games this year. The easiest game was probably this one they played, Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Chicago, that's the marquee afternoon game next week is Dallas at Chicago. That should be fun. Boy, kill me already.
Dallas and Chicago. You're playing Chicago next week. Congratulations on your win.
In Chicago. Congratulations on the win.
Because Chicago is Chicago's terrible. They're terrible. They're bad. They're bad again. So,
yeah. See here. You got a second game ball to hand out, Scott?
I know you're going to hate this one. Malik Neighbors.
I don't blame you. Even in the defeat, he was great today. He was great.
What a start. I think, what do you have? 8 catches, 2 touchdowns, 170 yards. I mean, Dallas's secondary was paying close attention to him. They were shadowing him. They were trying to double him. They could not stop the guy.
9 for 167 and 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. I mean, he was phenomenal. Whenever Russell Wilson,
Wandale had 8 for 142 and a touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable what Russell Wilson can do when, Washington's a good defense at home. Russell Wilson first game goes to Dallas, who's probably not as good as Washington, I don't think, on defense. They have Deron Bland in the back or Diggs in the back, and that's perfectly fine. But that Russell Wilson just had one of those games. So, I mean, Will we see it again? I don't know. We're not gonna see it next week. Not for sure.
No.
So Malik Neighbors is my second game ball.
So yeah, we won't go over the Monday night games, but we will preview the Thursday night game beforehand. Both my game balls are going to kickers. Going to kickers because for obvious reasons. Obviously, Brandon Aubrey, what a weapon he is. 64-yard field goal to send the game into overtime, and then the 46-yarder to win it. 3 for 3 on field goals, 4 for 4 on extra points. Guy's a weapon. He's phenomenal today. So that's number one. And then the second one is actually Scott from this game. Because you remember, Younghoe Koo missed the game-tying field goal that would have sent the game into overtime last week for Atlanta. If I could find his name here.
Parker Romo. He was with the Patriots.
Parker Romo, 5 for 5 tonight, and was a bulk of Atlanta scoring. When there was questions about their special teams and their kicker. Oh, and they also got a punt muff. A punt fumble recovery on special teams. So Atlanta special teams tonight. Even though Bijan had a great game, Atlanta special teams did a lot of the heavy lifting for them. So they'll get the second game ball.
That's about all you could say about this game that was good.
Pretty much.
It's going to be the same way, I think. If Kansas City doesn't have Xavier Worthy back, this could be another dud of a game. I hate to say it with the Chiefs, but I mean, until they get everybody back, I think they're going to just slug their way through games. And I don't think Tanner would disagree with that. So,
but yeah, you got Kansas City, New York, next Sunday night. Next Monday night, we mentioned you got Detroit at Baltimore. Thursday night. Why the hell is this game even a thing? Dolphins at Bills. Thursday night football.
Oh my God.
Josh Allen didn't even have that good of a game today, and they crushed the Jets in the road.
He hit his Russian prop at 1:08 Eastern time. That's how he had a 40-yard run at 1:08 Eastern time, and it broke his prop. I had my first win of the day at 3 minutes into kickoffs.
Have a day, James Cook. Have a day, James Cook today.
Everybody was down on him. He's going to be a stud again. He really is.
But yeah, the Dolphins, who are just a gigantic mess of chaos, go into Buffalo Thursday night. That should be.
There was talk I saw on a podcast I was watching on CBS Sports. If the Dolphins lose to the Bills, which we all kind of expect them to, watch Mike McDaniel's job on Friday. It could be he could be fired. Don't think he will be. It's only 3 games into the season, but he's 1 foot out the door right now, I think. And Chris Greer upstairs is the next guy that could be out the door too. So there's going to be change in Miami. It's just a question of when. So,
yep. I 100% agree.
Yeah, I wish Johnny Cruz was around so I could find out what he thought, but he's not. So we can't find out what he thinks. I might text him and see what's going on, just to talk to him about it. See what because he's down there. He lives down there, so he knows. But yeah, there is a strong feeling going around that Mike McDaniel's job is in serious jeopardy right now.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Nope, not at all.
Well, that's going to be it for us, Scott. What we got going on this week?
Wednesday's the baseball show. Did the Red Sox win tonight? I was too busy watching the football.
I know they scored 6 in the first inning, and I was like, well, Scott,
yeah, it was 6-4 in like the 6th. I don't know if they won. But we're down to a week and a half left of baseball. Baseball's over very, very soon here. So, we're gonna talk about all the pennant races and stuff like that. Thanks, Red Sox. You made my
Red Sox won 6-4.
6-4, okay. You made my ranking look really good. You lost 2 or 3 to the Yankees. Texas is hot as blistering hot.
They did lose today, though, which kind of sucks. But
the Mets
Seattle Seattle is leading the West now because Houston lost to Jonathan's Braves. So,
Houston didn't lose. Oh.
So Seattle now has the West Division lead by a game over Houston and 3 over us.
And guess who plays tomorrow? Houston and Texas starts tomorrow. So this is it. This could be for the last playoff spot.
This will be for the last playoff spot. Yep.
I like your Rangers' chances, by the way. They're playing really good baseball right now. But that's Wednesday. Thursday is Fall Start Thursdays. We'll go over football picks for week 3. Talk about any news that pops up. Probably Burrow will be first and foremost in that. And then Saturday, Sundays, lock it in. Saturday's college, lock it in. Sundays, NFL, lock it in. And Alan would like to take both days off if he could, by any chance.
No, just Sunday. Saturday, I did good.
You did well in college. That's right. You did well in college.
Sunday, I'm just like, I don't need to be here. I don't need to be here. That's fine. We don't need to go through this on Sunday. It's fine. I don't need to be reminded.
And shout out to Sam. Somebody do a wellness check on Sam, please. Titans played well for 2.5 quarters, and then they just collapsed.
Yeah.
I didn't hear from him today. The last time I heard from him is when the Burrow talk was going around in the chat.
Yeah. He did do the post game earlier tonight. So,
okay. Yeah, all right. So he's around.
Yeah, he's okay. He kind of expected it, honestly. I feel like so. But
I think he expected to lose today. I don't think he expected to collapse in the middle of the third quarter where they just did nothing from then on.
By the way, the Angels have been eliminated from postseason contention. This is 11 straight. This is 11 straight years that the Angels have missed the playoffs. That is the longest active streak in Major League Baseball.
Maybe the Angels should get some player like they already had Shohei Ohtani. They can't get him back. Well, that's too bad.
They have supposedly the best player in baseball.
Who? Logan Hoppy. Logan Hoppy.
Logan Hoppy. Oh my God.
Oh, it's that Trout guy who's oft injured, but he didn't get injured this year. Hardly. I don't think he did. Did he spend one stint in the DL? IL, whatever the heck we're calling it. No.
Yeah, I don't think he got hurt this year. I'm not sure. I think that the Angels were just a terrible team.
Bad pitching, no pitching,
and they spent an entire draft on pitching, and it hasn't worked. Lord,
and Jay beat me in the Rec Room League too. By the way,
I think I'm winning in LTS as well.
You beat me. Jay beat me.
I still have 2 guys to play.
Yeah, I had London and Jefferson going tonight, and that game killed me. So I lost.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, because you had that, and I still have both. I have a Ekbuka and Keenan Allen still. So
I had London and Jefferson. I was like, there's about 80 points between them. No.
I'll take the W. Thank you.
And the Warrior Ball, I got destroyed.
That's okay. You weren't the only one who beat Tanner today. I beat him too.
Oh, you did too.
Another
too. He's not going to do lock it in this weekend. He hates both of us right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
I got smashed in my Warrior Bowl matchup.
Yeah,
so.
I looked at it at 5:00 Eastern, and the guy was projected to have like 260 points. I was playing, so I was like, "Nah, that ain't gonna work." I ain't winning.
Yeah, we're good. We'll just go ahead and tap out right here.
That's all right. It's only week 2. We both got a win in it, so that's.
It's only week 2. We got a long way to go still.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else, Scott, before we end off tonight?
That's it. I got to go to bed after that, watching that thrilling Atlanta-Minnesota game. Me and Keith were just so enthralled by it. We were excited.
The nursing home was hopping.
We were looking for the Hawaii-Portland State replay. That's how excited we were.
Over here, 20 swing dancing to Portland State, Hawaii. Yeah.
Have
If you
a
know,
good
you
night,
know.
everybody. Have a good night,
Oh,
everybody. See.
by the way, we'll be back next week. As mentioned, we got Kansas City, New York next week. Also, Tuesday, check out Rec Room Daily or Rec Room Weekly. We'll probably be talking a lot of NFL there, plus some other stuff as well. Jay, Witt, myself, and a cast of others, Bobby G, and what have you. It'll be a fun time. It'll be a fun time. Which I found out today that the Steelers are actually scouting John Mateer. So guess what, Witt?
Oh, they are really.
Yeah, for the last 2 weeks. So it's like, well, Witt, here's your future quarterback.
You don't think they'll go with Mason Rudolph next year?
No, you're always going to go with an OU quarterback over no SU quarterback.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph is not good. So
yeah, Mateer's looked great so far. But yeah.
he is. He's looked phenomenal. I watched that whole Oklahoma Temple game yesterday. He was great. He was great yesterday. He's going to make a really good pro. So
yeah, I'm excited.
Yep.
Guys, that's going to be it for us. Anything else, Scott?
No, everybody sleep well. Hope your fantasy lineup wins come.
Yep.
Unless you had Joe Burrow, then it's not so good. I had Joe Burrow in my places, so it's not good.
I don't think I had Joe Burrow in any league, thank God. But hopefully it won't be too bad. Anywho, guys, thank you so much. Have a great night. We'll see you next Sunday. Until then, love y'all. Stay safe.